Gunther is going to take me up the same elevator used by Armstrong and Aldrin back in 1969. Once we get to the top, I'm going to ask him the big question.
So you were probably maybe one of the last two people to see them in the rocket, right?
I was the last one, not the last two, the last one, right. Because after I backed out of the hatch was closed. I was the last one to see the astronaut in it, okay? I can still, when the hatch was closed, I could look through the center window and see him in there.
And they were definitely inside.
There's no question about it. I mean, if that isn't proof, I don't know what you can do.
Well, what do you think? Is Gunther telling the truth? Or were the astronauts really hidden in some underground bunker?
The last thing anybody wants now is an emergency. But like everything else, they're ready for that too.
Once the crew are on board, if it looks as if they're in danger, they get out and head down this tube, specially insulated against fire, and zigzagging down not to some point out and away from the rocket, but to an escape room exactly where you'd think it shouldn't be.
Three and a half minutes after they get the warning in the capsule, the crew could be down here in the blast escape room via that 200-foot escape tube, 40 feet below the base of the rocket. They find themselves in a totally rubber room, walls and floors, and they head for safety through a 6-inch steel door. Once they're behind that door, it doesn't matter what comes down this tube behind them. On this side of that door, the rarely seen blast escape room itself. It's totally isolated from everything around it by a series of 24 giant springs underneath the floor and shells all round it of steel, concrete and sand. It contains enough food, water and air for 20 people for up to 24 hours, and it's all round the edge. There are these foam rubber shock-absorbing seats, as you can see. The room is built to withstand the simultaneous explosion of every drop of fuel on a Saturn V. And in that event, strapped into your shock-absorbing seat, if your rocket did blow itself to bits 40 feet above your head, all you'd feel would be a mild rumble from somewhere up there.